Welcome to dinesQL YouTube channel. Today, let's check out something new in Fabric, the Fabric AI skill feature. I'm sure many of you have tried or even built solution for conversational Q&A, what we used to call as a chatbot. So we used to build chatbot against our data, and then we open these chatbots using applications. So if you have, build solutions like that, then you know how hard that used to be. But thanks to modern AI, that's no longer the case. Now with generative AI, building conversational Q&A is really easy. So let's have a look at Fabric AI skill feature and see how it helps you to create a chatbot for your own data. Okay, what is Fabric AI skill? So Fabric AI skill is a Fabric item, just like the way you have been creating lake houses, warehouses, KQL databases. You can get this AI skill feature created. All you have to do is open the workspace, click on the new item, and then you can search for AI skill. Click on it, click on the tile, and then give a name, and then click on create. So you'll be seeing the configuration interface. But there are a couple of things you should know before you start with AI skill. First thing, this is still in preview, so you can try this out in development environment, but we still do not recommend you to move to production until you see this as a GA. Okay, still this is in preview. Once we see AI skill is in GA, then you can move it to production. Second thing, this needs F64 or higher capacity. If the workspace is configured with something like F32 or F16, this is not going to work. So you need to have F64. All right. In addition to that, there are a couple of things that have to be enabled. If you go to admin portal, you know how to open Fabric admin portal. You click on the setting icon, then you'll be seeing admin portal menu. Click on it, then search for AI skill. You need to make sure it is enabled. And there are a couple of settings related to Copilot. Those things have to be enabled as well. So as a part of the demo, I'll show you the switches that have to be enabled. Okay. In addition to that, for example, if you're going to use semantic model as one of the sources for your AI skill, then you need to make sure that XMLA endpoints are, the setting related to XMLA endpoints is enabled as well. Okay, right. So let's say you have enabled everything and then, your capacity is F64, then you can get a one created. So once it is created, you'll be seeing the configuration interface. That's where you configure everything. Currently, Fabric AI skill can be configured with 4 types of sources. You can configure it for lakehouses, warehouses, KQL databases, and semantic model. If you take one Fabric AI skill, you can configure only 5 sources, but you can mix it. For example, you can have 2 lakehouses and 1 warehouse and 1 semantic model, right? But it is limited to 5, all right? Once it is configured, then you can publish it. Once it is published, then the users can simply ask questions against related data. Now, when you attach or when you configure Lakehouse as one of your sources for AI skill, it allows you to pick tables. So Lakehouse has delta tables, Warehouse has delta tables, okay? Or semantic model, KQL databases have tables. So you have to make sure you have selected tables. You can't just assign the source, you have to select tables, okay? So once it is published, you'll be seeing an interface. Then you can chat just like the way you have been chatting with Copilot or ChatGPT. So you can ask questions against your data, right? So let's try to understand how it works. So let's say you have published, publish a Fabric AI skill, and it has been open for users. So a user simply sends a question to Fabric AI skill. That's going to be the first step. Then what Fabric AI skill does is, it simply tries to validate the question. So how it validates? It connects with or it uses Azure OpenAI Assistant APIs. Okay. And basically it behaves like an agent, right? So it connects with Azure OpenAI Assistant APIs and then try to process the question, check and see whether the question is a valid question. It goes through certain set of security protocols. It checks and see whether the question question aligns with the responsible AI policies, okay, and it checks on certain permissions as well. So if everything is okay, then Fabric AI skill will receive sort of a message saying, okay, all good. We can go ahead with the second step. There are so many inner steps. I'm just explaining the, let's say the main processes. Okay. So once the question is passed and validated, then it tries to identify the source. So let's say you have configured your Fabric AI skill with all four types of sources. So you have lakehouses, warehouses, semantic models, and KQL databases as well. All right. So it tries to figure out the best source or whether it has to use multiple sources or not. So it will check and see whether the person who made this request has permission on all these sources. Okay. If this user has no permission on these sources, then this user will not be able to get the answer. But if user has permission, then it will continue. It will check the sources tables, and it will check and see whether these tables can be used for answering, right? When you configure AI skill, you can add some instructions. So if you have worked with this conversational Q&A, even with let's say Azure AI Foundry, you can add some instructions saying, okay, this is how questions have to be answered. You can say that, okay, do not answer these type of questions, or you can simply say, if someone asks a question on this specific type, refer these tables for answering. Likewise, you can give some instructions. So AI skill accept instructions. You have no way of attaching files or uploading files. You have to use the input box given for adding instructions. So at this step, it will read instructions as well, or it will use instructions given for identifying the correct source. In addition to that, when you configure AI skill, you can add some examples. You can say, okay, if there is a question like that, this is the sample query to be executed against the lake house or against the warehouse. So you can add more and more examples. That is one of the techniques we use for improving the accuracy of the response when it's come to conversational Q&A. So AI skills allows you to add examples. So once the source is identified, then what you're going to see is the query generation step. So it will use a tool, we call them as natural language to SQL. That is basically for lakehouse tables and warehouse tables. Okay. Then we have another tool called natural language to DAX. That's for semantic models. And then it will use natural language to KQL for KQL databases. So it will generate one or more queries, and then it will simply validate the query and execute. Okay. So once it is executed, result will be formatted. It needs to make sure that it is human readable. So the result will be formatted with, let's say tables, some, summarized data, some highlights. That's how the result is going to be formatted, and that will be sent to the business user. So this is how Fabric AI skill works. How long does it take for, configuring this? Couple of minutes. It's all about deciding what tables to be used in your lakehouse or warehouse or semantic models or KQL database. And then you need to think and add some instructions. It is always better to add some examples. So we think, let's say 5 to 10 minutes, everything is done. But you must know that, in certain cases, still we see this issue with, not issue like, this is what we see with AI. Sometimes it generates wrong data or wrong responses. So it's always better to validate. So at the configurations screen, you have to try out with multiple questions and see whether this gives the right answer. If not, you have to go and change the instruction. You have to add more examples. You might have to make some changes to tables. Okay. Remember, there are many limitation with the AI skill, right? Currently, it supports only for English or the plain English questions. You cannot ask question in different languages. Just go to Microsoft Learn page, then you will see all the limitation, right? So there are limitation on number of tables, number of columns, What else? There are a lot. Okay, so just make sure you know about this limitation before you configure it. All right, that's all you have to know. Now let's see how we can start with AI skill. All right, so this is the workspace I'm going to use for the demonstration, the workspace 002. It has been configured with F64, and I'll be using the same data set that can be seen in the Microsoft AI skill example. Okay, so I have created a lake house and I have loaded data to this lake house. Let's have a look on the lake house. So this is what you see. There are set of tables, set of dimension tables and fact tables. We'll be using few tables for testing out AI skill. Okay. And if you want to see the code, this is the code I have used, and this code can be seen with Microsoft example. I'll be adding the URL related to this code, which is Microsoft Learn page. Then you can simply get the same code. So I have used this code for getting my tables loaded, and these are the lakehouse tables we can use for testing AI skills. Okay, right. So before we create AI skill, we need to make sure certain configuration or settings are enabled. So we have to go to admin setting. Let me go to this page. This is the admin portal. You can click on settings and then click on admin portal for getting this open. The first thing is you need to go to Copilot section. So I'm going to search for Copilot. Yeah. So when I search for Copilot, I can see Copilot and Azure OpenAI service. I'm going to expand this. You can see this is enabled. So users can use Copilot and other features powered by Azure OpenAI. That has to be enabled because AI skill works with Azure OpenAI. Okay. So that's the first one. And then you need to enable, let me scroll down, this setting, data sent to Azure OpenAI. Sorry, it says data sent to Azure OpenAI can be processed outside your capacity's geography region. So this can happen. Let's say your capacity is one region and then Azure OpenAI is in a different region. In that case, data will be sent to OpenAI region in order to process and then do the needful in terms of AI calls. Okay. In my case, I have not enabled this, but if you see that two different regions when it's come to your workspace or the capacity and this OpenAI, then you need to enable this. There is another setting. If I scroll down, you can see the last one under Copilot. Data sent to Azure OpenAI can be stored outside your capacity. So same thing. If you're working in two different regions, then you need to enable this. I have enabled this, but if I'm not mistaken, you don't need to enable this as well. Okay. But it's always better to enable all these three settings in order to work with Azure AI skills. There's one more setting. So let me scroll up and then check for AI skills. Okay. So this one, so you need to make sure you have enabled users can create and share AI skills item types. Okay, this must be enabled. So these are the main things that have to be enabled. But in addition to that, you need to make few adjustment on certain other items. Specifically, when if you're working with something like let's say semantic models, you're going to use semantic model as a source for your AI skill. Then you need to make sure XMLA endpoints tenant switch is enabled as well. Okay. All right. So everything is configured. Now let's create an AI skill and see. So let me go to workspace, click on new item, look for AI skill. Click on it. I'm going to give a name. So let me say AI skill. Let me say 00201. Create. Okay, so it asks, which data source must be added. So I'm going to select the lakehouse I have created for this demonstration. Let me click on add. It is getting added. So you know that you can add 5 data sources. You can mix This time I'm going to add lake house, but later if I want, I can add a KQL database, semantic model, or warehouse. Okay, these are the supported data sources for AI skill. Let me expand delta tables that are available in this lake house. I'm not going to add everything just for testing. Let me say date table, customer table, and let's take product, category, and subcategory. I'm going to take promotion as well. Then let's take one of the fact tables. Let's take something like internet sales. Okay. Oops. Let me select that. Right. So altogether, I have selected 7 tables. Okay. And then I'm going to click on get started. All right. It is ready for testing. Let's try and see. Okay, so just for testing, let's say, can you list out top 5 sales, let's say, along with order number, date, and amount. Let's see how it produces the result. Okay, I can see a result set. It shows order number, date, and the sales amount. You can see a section called one step completed. I can expand it. If I expand it, I can see the result along with the query that I've been used for this. So it's a very simple select statement. It gets data from internet sales. It is the result set is getting ordered by sales amount. Order is descending, and then it picks top 5. So that's correct. Okay. So likewise, I can ask questions based on my sales, product, sub-product, or the currency or the customer. I can, mix all these tables, or I can simply ask questions and get the results based on all these tables. Okay. Now, let me try to get some data from promotion tables. So let me say, can you list out recent promotions added? Let's see the result. All right, so this is the issue I experience when I, try to get some answers based on promotion table. It says the content here that I can't work with, try asking a new question, something like that. So what could be the issue? So I know that this AI skill, okay, it's basically, it has many limitation. The reason is still it is in preview. And I know that it does not work with non-English language questions or instructions, okay? But when it's come to some of these tables, we have non-English data as well. Now, even if you take product table, it has product name in multiple languages, okay? When it's come to promotion table, we can see non-English data. We can actually go to our lakehouse and let me change to SQL endpoint. And then let's try to list out promotion data. Where is it? This is a table, new query, top 100. So I can see Spanish, French, promotion names. If I list out product table, I should see the same. Okay. But for some reason, I'm not getting data from promotion. So then what I did was I added a specific instruction saying not to read these columns from promotion table. I'm not too sure whether this is a bug or this is due to certain incomplete function in AI skill. Okay, but this is how you add instruction. I can specifically tell Fabric saying when it's come to this AI skill Fabric item, do not use these columns. Okay, so let's try this and see. Let me go to this code again. You can see something called AI instruction. Let me click on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type something like this. I have already tested this before. So let me take that text and then paste here. See, I'm going to say question on promotion must be answered using the promotion table and ignore all these columns like Spanish promotion name, French promotion name, promotion types, promotion category. So whenever, it's basically ignore all the columns that do not contain the, data in English. Okay, that's what I have mentioned with this AI instruction. Now, I'm going to try out the question again. Can you list out recent promotions added? Let's see whether it works. Okay, now it works. It's basically say there are no recent promotion added in the database within last 30 days. Okay, so because this contains old record, but it reads a table. We are not seeing the same error. I can simply say list out top 5 promotion. This should work now. It should be able to read it. I should not get the same error. All right, see, I get it. So let me put a question like, based on the best promotion, list out sales orders. Again, I have a ready-made question on it. Let me copy and paste. So I'm going to say list out top sales orders that are related to top best promotion, um, along with sales order number and production and things like that. Okay, let me click on this and see whether I can get the result. Let me close this. All right, I get the data. We know that the best promotion is something called no discount, and these are, sales orders. Okay, top 10 sales orders based on this promotion. So likewise, I can, try out with multiple questions and see. But remember, still, this is in preview, which means you might not see the right data for your questions. But check and see. There are so many limitations on this. Okay, but you can handle certain things using AI instruction. If you can click on it, add instructions in text. Currently, it is limited to 15,000 characters. Okay. You have no way of uploading a PDF or text file that contains instruction. You have to type it. Okay. In addition to that, you can click on example queries and add queries. Okay. For example, I can click on this and then say add an example. I can say, okay, uh, example question. Okay. List out promotion. Okay, so if someone says something like that, I can go to SQL query and then type the query saying, select all from, something like this, select all from DBO dot, it says dim promotion. Okay, promotion. Okay, so likewise, I can add the query. So then it knows how it has to, decide tables to be used and then extract data. Okay, it's always better to, add, examples. This technique is called as few shot learning. Okay, so you simply provide examples along with the SQL query. Then AI skill can learn from your questions and queries. Then when someone simply asks questions, it knows how to pick the tables and then extract data. Okay. All right. So at the end, what you can do is you can click on publish. You can give the name and the descriptions. I'm going to click on publish. Now I should be able to expand this and then select publish. So when I select publish, this is what I see. Okay, so I can ask questions against my data. All right, that's all. Hope you learned something on this. So thanks for watching and see you with another video like this.